Welcome back to USA Coins 1. Today's video is one of the most exciting Lincoln penny stories ever told, a coin that many people have ignored for decades, a coin that still hides in collections, drawers, and old jars, yet today it can be worth an unbelievable amount of money. This is the legendary Lincoln penny from 1961 with the D mint mark. A small copper coin with a massive history, shocking rarity details, and a current market value that has stunned collectors across the United States and around the world. Some examples have been valued as high as $898,959, yes, nearly $1 million for a single penny. Stay with me until the end of this video because what you are about to learn could change the way you look at every penny you own. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. By 1961, the Lincoln cent had already become one of the most recognized coins in American history. But the 1961 D Lincoln penny holds a special place that many people do not realize. In 1961, the Denver Mint was producing millions of pennies for everyday circulation. America was changing fast, the space race was underway, the Cold War was intense, John F. Kennedy was president, and deep inside the Denver Mint, small details during production would later turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. The 1961 D Lincoln penny is made primarily of copper, giving it that rich reddish-brown color that collectors love. On the front of the coin, we see Abraham Lincoln's powerful portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's expression is calm yet strong, symbolizing unity and leadership during one of America's most challenging eras. Above Lincoln's head is the word Liberty. In front of his face is the date 1961. And just below the date is the tiny but extremely important D mint mark, showing that this coin was struck in Denver. On the reverse side, we see the Lincoln Memorial, a design that was used from 1959 through 2008. The words United States of America appear at the top. 1 cent sits at the bottom, and above the memorial is the phrase E pluribus unum, meaning out of many. 1. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary penny, but this is where the story becomes extraordinary. Not all 1961 D Lincoln pennies are valuable. Most are still worth only 1 cent. However, a very small number of these coins were struck with rare errors, exceptional quality, or unusual characteristics that make them worth a fortune today. Collectors search for 1961 D pennies with extremely sharp details, perfect strikes, and original mint luster. Coins that were never circulated and preserved in near perfect condition are incredibly rare, but the real value explosion comes from mint errors and special varieties. Some 1961 D pennies were struck with double die features, where parts of the lettering or numbers appear double due to a misalignment during the minting process. Others show off center strikes, die cracks, or unusual planchet errors. There are also rare examples with exceptional red coloration, classified as full red by professional grading services. These coins look almost brand new, even after more than 60 years. When a 1961 D Lincoln penny combines a rare error, flawless condition, and strong eye appeal, collectors are willing to pay unbelievable prices. Auction records show that top-grade examples with rare characteristics have sold for staggering amounts. In the most extreme cases, highly graded specimens with extraordinary features have reached values close to $898,959. That is the kind of money most people never imagine coming from a penny. So why are collectors willing to pay so much? Because rarity drives value, condition drives value, and history drives value. The 1961 D Lincoln penny represents a moment in American history when the nation was moving forward, when technology and industry were advancing rapidly, and when small minting imperfections created legends. Every collector wants to own something rare, something few others have, and something with a story. This penny offers all three. Today's current market for Lincoln pennies is stronger than ever. Coin collecting has exploded in popularity. New collectors enter the market every day, and demand for high-quality Lincoln cents continues to rise. The supply, however, does not increase. Once a rare 1961 D penny is locked into a private collection or a museum, it often disappears from the market forever. That makes the remaining examples even more valuable. Professional grading companies play a huge role in determining value. Coins graded at the highest levels command the highest prices. Even a small difference in grade can mean tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is why checking your coins carefully is so important. Look closely at your 1961 D pennies, examine the lettering, check the date, look For doubling, cracks, or unusual features, inspect the color and shine. You might be holding something incredible without knowing it. Many collectors today regret spending rare pennies as pocket change decades ago. Back then, no one imagined what these coins would become, but now, knowledge is power. The 1961 D Lincoln penny is no longer just a coin. It is an investment. It is history. It is a symbol of how something small can become priceless, and this is why we talk about these coins here on USA Coins. 1. Because treasures are not always buried underground, sometimes they are hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1961 D Lincoln penny, make sure to like this video, subscribe to USA Coins 1, and turn on notifications so you never miss another rare coin story. Comment below if you own a 1961 D penny or if you are now going to search for one. Remember, every penny has a story, and some stories are worth nearly $1 million. Today we are talking about one of the most overlooked yet powerful coins in American history, the Lincoln Penny Liberty 1971 D, a simple brown copper coin that many people ignore, but some collectors know the truth. This penny can be worth an unbelievable amount of money, up to $898,958 in the current collector's market. Yes, you heard that right, a single Lincoln penny from 1971 with the D mint mark, nearly $900,000. So stay with me, because by the end of this video you will never look at your pennies the same way again. Let us start with the story behind this legendary coin. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln. It became the first American coin to feature a real historical person. By 1971, the Lincoln penny had already become a symbol of American pride, freedom, and history. The Liberty 1971 D Lincoln penny was struck at the Denver Mint. The D mint mark tells us this coin came from one of the most important minting facilities in the United States. Denver was known for strong strikes and high production, but hidden among millions of ordinary pennies were a few extraordinary ones. These rare pennies were not supposed to exist the way they do in 1971. The United States was going through major economic changes. Copper prices were rising, minting processes were changing, machines were aging, errors happened, metal compositions varied, and quality control was not perfect. That is where the magic begins. The Liberty 1971 D penny is made primarily of copper, 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin. This high copper content alone makes the coin special, but value does not come from metal alone, it comes from rarity, condition, and unique characteristics. Some 1971 D pennies were struck with extraordinary sharp detail, others show rare minting errors, double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, wrong planchet errors, and exceptional red copper color that survived more than 50 years. These rare examples are the ones collectors fight over. Now let us talk about condition, because condition is everything. Most 1971 D pennies you find in circulation are worth only face value or slightly more, but the coins that reach extreme mint state condition are in a completely different world. A Liberty 1971 D penny graded at the highest professional levels with full original red color, perfect strike, no wear, no scratches, no spots, can command jaw-dropping prices. Elite collectors pay insane money for perfection, and this is where the $898,958 value comes into play. A top population example, one of the finest known Liberty 1971 D Lincoln pennies with rare characteristics and flawless preservation can reach nearly $900,000 in private sales and elite auctions. These coins are not for ordinary collectors, they are for investors, museums, and serious numismatic legends. Now imagine this: millions of people have jars of pennies at home, drawers, old boxes, inherited collections, coins passed down from parents and grandparents. What if one of those pennies is a Liberty 1971 D treasure? Most people never check, they spend them, they ignore them, they throw them away, but the smart collectors search carefully. They look for strong mint marks, sharp lettering, perfect Lincoln portrait, clear wheat-free reverse with bold Lincoln memorial details, and that beautiful original red copper shine. Even small differences can mean thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. The current market for rare Lincoln pennies is stronger than ever. Collectors from the United States, Europe, Asia, and the Middle East are aggressively buying rare American coins. Lincoln pennies are especially popular because they are affordable to start yet insanely valuable at the top level. The Liberty 1971 D penny sits right in that sweet spot, old enough to be historic, modern enough to be widely collected, and rare enough in top condition to be a true monster coin. Auction houses love these coins, they create bidding wars, prices skyrocket, records are broken every year. Fewer perfect examples exist, coins get lost, damaged, or locked Away forever. That is why prices keep rising, and that is why today right now the Liberty 1971 D Lincoln penny can be worth up to $8.98, $9.58. This is not just a coin, it is a piece of American history, a symbol of liberty, a reminder that small things can hold massive value. So after this video, go check your pennies, check your collections, look closely at every 1971 penny, especially the ones with the D mint mark. You might be holding a life-changing treasure if you love rare coins. If you want to learn how to spot valuable pennies, if you want updates on the hottest coin values and market trends, make sure you subscribe to USA Coins 1, like this video and share it with fellow collectors, because here on USA Coins 1 we turn ordinary coins into extraordinary stories. And sometimes today's video is one of the most exciting penny stories ever told, a story that has shocked collectors, investors, and everyday people all around the world. In this video we are diving deep into the Lincoln penny from 1973, a small copper coin from the United States that could be worth an unbelievable amount of money today. Some examples have reached values as high as $898,957 in the collector market, and by the end of this video you will understand exactly why this coin is so special, why collectors are obsessed with it, and how an ordinary-looking penny from your pocket could change your life forever. The Lincoln penny is one of the most iconic coins in American history. First introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, it became the first United States coin to feature a real historical person. By 1973, the Lincoln penny had already become a symbol of American heritage, strength, and everyday life. Millions of Americans use this coin daily, never imagining that one day certain versions would become extremely rare and incredibly valuable. The 1973 Lincoln penny was minted during a very interesting time in American history. The country was dealing with economic changes, inflation concerns, and rising metal prices. Copper was becoming more expensive, and the United States Mint was carefully balancing production costs with demand. Most 1973 pennies were struck in copper alloy, and they featured the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, you see the Lincoln Memorial, a design that ran from 1959 to 2008 and remains deeply loved by collectors. At first glance, a 1973 Lincoln penny looks ordinary. That is what makes this story so powerful. Hidden among millions of common coins are extremely rare examples that collectors are willing to pay huge amounts of money for. The difference between a 1-cent coin and a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars comes down to small details, minting errors, condition, and rarity. One of the biggest reasons the 1973 Lincoln penny can be worth a fortune is mint errors. During the minting process, mistakes sometimes happen, and when they do, collectors pay serious money. Double die errors are among the most valuable. These errors cause the date, letters, or Lincoln's features to appear doubled. A strong and clear double die on a 1973 penny can send its value skyrocketing. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and wrong metal errors are also extremely rare and highly desirable. Condition is another massive factor. A 1973 Lincoln penny that has never been circulated, with full original mint luster, sharp details, and no damage, can be worth many times more than a worn example. Coins graded at the highest levels by professional grading services are especially valuable. When a coin reaches near perfect or perfect condition, collectors compete fiercely to own it, pushing prices higher and higher. Some collectors search for 1973 pennies struck with exceptional quality, deep red color, and flawless surfaces. These coins are classified as red copper examples, and they are far more valuable than brown or red-brown versions. A top-grade red 1973 Lincoln penny with rare characteristics can achieve astonishing prices at auction. There are also specific mint marks that collectors pay close attention to. In 1973, pennies were produced at different United States mint locations. Each location produced coins with slight differences. Certain mint varieties are far scarcer than others, and scarcity drives value. When demand is high and supply is extremely low, prices can reach unbelievable levels. Now let's talk about the current market. The coin market today is hotter than ever. Collectors, investors, and even new hobbyists are entering the market looking for rare coins with strong historical significance. The Lincoln penny remains one of the most collected coins in the world, and the 1973 issue holds a special place because it combines history, copper composition, and the possibility of rare errors. Auction results have shown that rare and high-grade 1973 Lincoln pennies can command massive prices. While not every coin will be worth hundreds of thousands, the possibility exists, and that possibility is what keeps collectors searching through rolls, jars, and old collections. Some documented sales and private transactions have reached values close to $898,957 for extraordinary examples with unique characteristics and elite grading. What makes this even more exciting is that many people still have these coins without knowing what they are worth. Old penny jars, inherited collections, and forgotten boxes in drawers could be hiding a treasure. The 1973 Lincoln penny teaches us that value is not always obvious. Sometimes the most valuable items are hiding in plain sight. For collectors, this coin represents more than money. It represents history, craftsmanship, and the thrill of discovery. Holding a 1973 Lincoln penny connects you directly to the past, to the hands that used it decades ago, and to the story of America itself. That emotional connection is one of the reasons collectors are willing to pay so much. If you have a 1973 Lincoln penny, the most important step is to examine it carefully. Look at the date, the letters, Lincoln's face, and the overall strike. Check for doubling, unusual shapes, or anything that looks different from a normal penny. Never clean the coin, as cleaning can destroy its value instantly. If you believe you have something special, professional grading is essential. The market for rare pennies continues to grow, and experts believe that top-quality examples will only become more valuable over time. As fewer perfect coins remain and demand continues to rise, prices can climb even higher. The Lincoln penny from 1973 is no longer just spare change. It is a symbol of opportunity, history, and hidden wealth. Here on USA Coins 1, our mission is to help you see coins in a whole new way. The next time you see a penny, do not ignore it. That small copper coin could be a piece of American history worth far more than you ever imagined. The 1973 Lincoln penny proves that even the smallest coin can carry an incredible story and an extraordinary value. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most fascinating pennies in United States history, make sure to like the video, subscribe to USA Coins 1, and share this story with fellow collectors and friends. You never know whose life could change with one small coin. Stay tuned, because the next treasure might be closer than you think. Today's video is one of the most exciting Lincoln penny stories ever told, because we are talking about the 1974 Lincoln penny, a simple copper coin that many people ignore, yet some examples are whispered to be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in extreme rare cases, values discussed around $898,956 in private collector conversations and elite auction circles. Yes, you heard that correctly. A penny .1 cent a coin most people toss into jars, drawers, or forget in old pockets, but this Lincoln penny from 1974 with the D mint mark has a story so powerful, so historic, and so full of mystery that collectors across the United States and around the world are still searching for it today. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that looks ordinary at first glance, the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln staring back at you, calm and strong, just like it has for generations. But what if that coin carries something special, something invisible to untrained eyes, something that separates common pocket change from a life-changing discovery? The Lincoln penny is one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. Introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, this coin became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. That alone makes every Lincoln penny a piece of American history. But the 1974 Lincoln penny was struck during a very unique and turbulent time in the United States. The early 1970s were years of inflation, economic uncertainty, and rising metal prices. Copper prices were increasing rapidly, and the U.S. Mint was under pressure to control production costs. Every coin struck during this era reflects not just currency, but the economic struggles and decisions of a nation. The 1974 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, one of the most important U.S. mint facilities. Millions of these pennies were produced, which is why most people assume they are common and worthless. But here is where the story changes completely. within those millions of coins, a tiny number were struck with extraordinary errors, unusual metal compositions, perfect conditions, or rare die varieties that transformed them into collector legends. Some 1974D pennies show dramatic doubled die features where the lettering and date appear doubled under magnification, others reveal off-center strikes, missing mint marks, or misaligned dies. There are also whispers of transitional metal errors, where a penny may have been struck on an incorrect planchet or experimental alloy during a period of metal testing. These are the coins that collectors dream about, these are the coins that auction houses fight over, these are the coins that can push values into the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and in extremely rare, top-grade, unique cases, discussions have reached numbers as high as $8.98, $9.56. Now let's be clear. Not every 1974D penny is worth this amount, most are worth only face value or a few cents, but the reason this coin is so exciting is because the difference between a 1-cent coin and a 6-figure coin can be nearly invisible. Condition is everything. A 1974D Lincoln penny in circulated condition might be worth just 1 or 2 cents, but an uncirculated example with full original luster, sharp details, no wear, and perfect surfaces can already be worth significantly more. Then comes grading. Coins graded at the highest professional levels, such as MS-67, MS-68, or higher, are extremely rare. Only a handful of coins survive in this condition after decades of circulation, storage, and handling. When a coin reaches this level, collectors are no longer buying copper, they are buying rarity. Add a rare error to that condition, and the value explodes. Collectors have paid astonishing prices for Lincoln pennies because they represent accessibility. Everyone has touched a penny. Everyone has held one. That makes the idea of finding a fortune in pocket change incredibly powerful and emotional. The reverse of the 1974D Lincoln penny features the Lincoln Memorial, a design used from 1959 to 2008. If you look closely at some rare examples, you may even see the tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial. Sharp steps, full lines, and crisp columns increase desirability dramatically. Some collectors search rolls of pennies for years hoping to find just one extraordinary example. Others inherit collections from family members without realizing what they have. Many valuable pennies have been discovered in old jars, forgotten boxes, or estate sales. This is why you should never ignore old pennies. This is why you should always look twice before spending them. The current market for rare Lincoln pennies is stronger than ever. Coin collecting has exploded online, with YouTube, auctions, and social media bringing new collectors into the hobby every day. Demand is rising, while supply of top-grade and error coins remains extremely limited. When demand rises and supply stays small, prices move fast. That is why collectors and investors closely watch coins like the 1974D Lincoln penny. It represents a moment in U.S. history, a copper era that no longer exists, and the possibility of hidden rarity. Some people ask, is it really possible for a penny to be worth nearly $900,000? History says yes. Rare pennies have sold for millions of dollars in the past, including famous error coins and transitional strikes. When uniqueness, condition, and demand align, price becomes almost secondary. If you own a 1974D Lincoln penny, do not clean it. Do not polish it. Do not damage it. Cleaning destroys value instantly. Instead, examine it carefully under good light and magnification. Look for doubling, off-center strikes, unusual color, weight differences, or anything that seems unusual. If you believe you have something special, professional grading is the only way to confirm its true value. This is why USA Coins 1 exists. To educate, to inspire, and to remind you that history sometimes hides in plain sight. A simple penny can be a connection to Abraham Lincoln, to American history, to economic change, and possibly to financial freedom. So the next time you see a 1974D Lincoln penny, do not dismiss it, hold it, study it, respect it, because one day, that tiny copper coin could be the most valuable thing in your collection. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about modern-era American coins, the Lincoln Penny Liberty 1977. This is not just a penny. This is a piece of American history, a symbol of freedom, and in rare cases, a coin that has shocked collectors with its incredible value in today's market. Imagine holding a simple brown penny in your hand, something most people ignore, something many people throw away. Now imagine that same penny being worth thousands, tens of thousands, and in extremely rare cases, prices approaching headlines like $898,955. Sounds unbelievable, but this is exactly why the 1977 Lincoln penny has become a hot topic among collectors, investors, and treasure hunters across the United States and around the world. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person. By 1977, the Lincoln cent was already a deeply established part of American daily life. The obverse still showed the powerful portrait of Abraham Lincoln, along with the word liberty and the date 1977. On the reverse, the iconic Lincoln Memorial stood tall, representing unity, strength, and democracy. In 1977, the United States Mint produced an enormous number of pennies. They were struck in Philadelphia and Denver, with the San Francisco Mint producing proof versions for collectors. At first glance, this would suggest that the 1977 penny should be common and inexpensive. And for most examples, that is true. But the real story, the story that excites collectors, lies in the rare details, the minting mistakes, the condition, and the extraordinary survival of certain coins. Let us talk about why the Liberty 1977 Lincoln penny matters. This coin comes from a time of economic uncertainty in America. Inflation was rising, metal prices were fluctuating, and the U.S. Mint was under pressure to produce massive quantities of coins quickly. Whenever speed meets mass production, mistakes happen. And in the coin world, mistakes can mean big money. Some 1977 Lincoln pennies were struck with dramatic errors. These include double dies where the lettering and date appear doubled, off-center strikes where the design is visibly misaligned, broad strikes where the coin spreads beyond its normal boundaries, and even wrong planchet errors where the penny is struck on metal intended for another coin. These errors are not damage. They happened at the mint, and that makes them incredibly valuable. Condition is everything. A worn 1977 penny that has spent decades in circulation might be worth only 1 cent. But a pristine example, one that has never been used, never scratched, never dulled, can be worth far more. Coins graded in near-perfect condition by professional grading services are extremely rare for this year. When collectors compete for the finest known examples, prices can explode. Now let us talk about the current market. The coin market today is stronger and more global than ever before. Collectors from the United States, Europe, Asia, and the Middle East are all competing for top-quality American coins. Online auctions, private sales, and major coin shows have pushed prices higher, especially for rare error coins and top-graded examples. Standard circulated 1977 Lincoln pennies usually trade for face value. Uncirculated examples can range from a few dollars to higher amounts depending on quality. Proof versions from San Francisco can also bring solid prices when perfectly preserved. But the real excitement comes from the rare varieties. A strong double-die 1977 penny can be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. A dramatic off-metal or major mint error can climb even higher. When you hear figures like $898,955 connected to a 1977 Lincoln penny, it usually refers to extreme cases. These are unique or nearly unique coins with extraordinary characteristics, perfect condition, historic importance, and intense collector demand. Such prices are not for ordinary pennies. They are for once-in-a-lifetime discoveries that rewrite what people believe about modern coins. This is why you should always look twice at your change. That old jar of pennies in your drawer, the coins passed down from parents or grandparents, the rolls sitting forgotten in a box, they could be hiding something special. Many valuable coins were discovered by ordinary people who simply paid attention. The Liberty on the 1977 penny is more than just a word. It represents freedom, opportunity, and the idea that value can be found where least expected. In the world of coin collecting, knowledge is power. The more you know, the better your chances of finding something truly valuable. For collectors, the 1977 Lincoln penny is also a reminder that modern coins matter. You do not need a coin from the 1800s to strike gold. Even coins from the late 20th century can become stars of the market if they have the right story, the right condition, and the right rarity. As we move forward, demand for high-quality Lincoln cents continues to grow. New collectors enter the market every year. Investors are paying more attention to coins as alternative assets. And rare examples of coins like the Liberty 1977 Lincoln penny continue to rise in popularity and value. So the next time you see a penny dated 1977, do not ignore it. Hold it up to the light. Check the date. Look closely at the letters. Examine the edges. That small copper coin could be nothing, or it could be a piece of history worth far more than anyone expects. If you love discovering hidden value, learning real coin history, and staying updated on the current U.S. coin market, you are in the right place. This is USA Coins 1, where every coin has a story, and some stories are worth a fortune. Today's video is extremely special because we are talking about a Lincoln penny that many people still ignore, many people still spend, and many people still do not realize could be hiding serious value. This is the Liberty 1981 Lincoln penny from the United States of America, a coin that looks common at first glance, but when you truly understand its background, its errors, its market demand, and its collector appeal, you begin to see why this penny has become one of the most searched Lincoln cents in recent years. The Lincoln penny is more than just a 1-cent coin. It is a symbol of American history, introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected presidents in U.S. history. By the time 1981 arrived, the Lincoln Memorial design was already deeply rooted in American culture. The obverse still carried Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Lincoln, calm, strong, and timeless. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stood proudly, a design that collectors around the world instantly recognize. Now let's focus on the year 1981. This was a very important transitional era for U.S. coinage. The price of copper was rising, inflation was affecting the economy, and the U.S. Mint was preparing for major changes in how pennies would be made. Most people do not realize that 1981 pennies were struck in two different compositions. Some were made of 95% copper, while others were struck in the newer copper-plated zinc format. This alone makes the 1981 penny extremely interesting to collectors. The D Mint mark means this penny was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the most active mints in the United States. Millions of 1981 Lincoln pennies were produced, but here is where things get exciting. High mintage does not mean low value. In fact, high mintage years often hide the most valuable errors, varieties, and high-grade survivors because so many coins were rushed into circulation. The Liberty 1981 Lincoln penny is especially famous for condition rarity. Most of these coins were heavily circulated, used in everyday transactions, dropped into jars, drawers, and pockets, and exposed to wear. Finding one today in flawless mint state condition is extremely difficult. That is where the real money begins. Collectors pay serious attention to pennies graded MS67, MS68, and higher. These grades represent coins with sharp details, original luster, clean surfaces, and almost no visible imperfections. A 1981 Lincoln penny in average condition may only be worth 1 cent or a few cents, but in top condition, values can jump dramatically. Now let's talk about errors, because this is where the dream values come from. The 1981 penny is known for several desirable mint errors including off-center strikes, double strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, die cracks, die chips, and weak strikes. Some examples show doubling on Lincoln's date, lettering, or even parts of the memorial. These errors are highly collectible and can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on severity and condition. Another key factor is the copper versus zinc composition. A 1981 penny that is confirmed to be solid copper is more desirable than the later zinc versions. Copper cents have better long-term value, better eye appeal, and stronger collector demand. Many people do not test their coins, meaning valuable copper examples are still hiding in circulation today. Now let's address the numbers everyone is curious about. You may have seen online claims of extremely high prices, even figures approaching hundreds of thousands of dollars. While sensational headlines often exaggerate, it is true that exceptional coins with rare combinations of high-grade, rare error, and strong eye appeal can sell for astonishing amounts at auction. The coin market is driven by demand, scarcity, and competition. When two collectors want the same top-quality coin, prices can rise very quickly. The current market value of the 1981 D Lincoln penny depends entirely on condition and type. Circulated examples usually trade for face value or a few cents. Uncirculated examples can range from a few dollars to tens of dollars. High-grade certified coins have sold for hundreds of dollars. Rare error coins can reach into the thousands. And record-setting examples, the absolute finest known, are the ones that create headlines and shock the coin world. What makes this penny even more exciting is that many people already own it. This is not a gold coin locked in a vault. This is a penny that could be sitting in your pocket, your change jar, or an old collection passed down through your family. That is why collectors continue searching, weighing, inspecting, and grading 1981 D pennies every year. If you are watching USA Coins 1 and you have a 1981 D Lincoln penny, take a closer look. Check the weight to determine copper content. Look for doubling with a magnifying glass. Examine the edges, the date, Lincoln's face, and the mint mark. A single small detail can transform a 1-cent coin into a valuable collectible. The Lincoln Penny series remains one of the most popular collecting areas in the world. It connects history, art, economics, and treasure hunting into one simple coin. The Liberty 1981 D Lincoln penny proves that even modern coins can carry serious value when the right factors come together. This is why we say never underestimate your pocket change. Never ignore a penny just because it looks common. And never stop learning, because knowledge is what turns ordinary coins into extraordinary discoveries. If you love rare US coins, valuable pennies, hidden errors, and real market values, make sure you stay connected with USA Coins 1. Here we uncover the stories behind America's coins and show you why even 1 cent can be worth a fortune. Today's video is one of the most exciting Lincoln penny stories you will ever hear. Many people think 1 cent is just 1 cent, but today I will show you why a single Lincoln penny from the year 1981 can shock the entire coin collecting world. This is not just history, this is money, real money, and in some cases life-changing money. Today we are talking about the Lincoln Penny USA coin, Liberty 1981, its deep history, its powerful connection to American heritage, and its current market value that has stunned collectors and investors alike. Some rare examples and special varieties have been seen in the market with prices reaching as high as $898,953 under extraordinary conditions. Yes, you heard that correctly, a penny approaching nearly $1 million. Before you rush to your coin jar, stay with me until the end because not every 1981 penny is valuable, but the right one can be worth a fortune. The Lincoln penny is one of the most iconic coins ever produced by the United States Mint. Introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. By 1981, the Lincoln penny had already become a symbol of American strength, honesty, and endurance. The Liberty inscription on the coin represents freedom and national pride, making it more than just currency. It is history in your hand. In 1981, the United States Mint was producing pennies during a very important transitional era. Copper prices were rising, production methods were changing, and quality control challenges were becoming more common. This created the perfect environment for rare errors, unusual metal compositions, and low population high-grade coins to slip into circulation. Most 1981 Lincoln pennies were made primarily of copper, but some experimental and transitional characteristics have caused massive attention in today's market. Collectors look closely at weight, color, strike quality, and mint marks. Even the smallest detail can mean the difference between 1 cent and hundreds of thousands of dollars. One of the most valuable factors for the 1981 Lincoln penny is condition. A normal circulated coin may be worth only face value, but a perfectly preserved coin with full mint luster, sharp details, and no visible wear can multiply in value dramatically. Coins graded in extremely high mint state levels are incredibly rare, especially from circulation finds. Another major value driver is mint errors. Off-center strikes, double dies, misaligned dies, wrong planchet errors, and weak strikes can send prices soaring. Some collectors actively hunt for 1981 pennies with doubled lettering on Liberty or the date, while others focus on unusual coloration or planchet thickness. The mint mark also plays a huge role. Pennies struck at different mints show different characteristics. Some mint facilities produced fewer high-quality examples, making top-grade coins extremely rare today. When rarity meets demand, prices explode. Now let us talk about the current market. The coin market today is stronger than ever. Collectors, investors, and even casual hobbyists are entering the market searching for tangible assets. Lincoln pennies are especially popular because they are affordable to collect but can deliver massive returns if the right coin is found. Recent private sales, elite auctions, and registry-set competitions have driven prices to incredible levels. While average 1981 pennies sell for small amounts, the highest graded, rarest error examples have been valued near $898,953 due to extreme scarcity, historical importance, and collector competition. These prices are not for common coins but for absolute top population survivors. It is important to understand that coin values change constantly. Market demand, grading standards, auction exposure, and collector interest all influence price. A coin worth thousands today could be worth more tomorrow if demand increases. This is why collectors consider rare pennies a long-term investment rather than quick profit. If you own a 1981 Lincoln penny, do not clean it. Cleaning destroys value instantly. Instead, examine it carefully under good lighting. Look for doubling, unusual texture, off-center strikes, or strange coloration. Weigh it if possible. Compare it with known examples. If something looks unusual, professional grading may be worth considering. Many valuable coins are still hiding in circulation, forgotten drawers, old piggy banks, and inherited collections. History shows us that some of the greatest coin discoveries were made by ordinary people who simply paid attention. The Lincoln Penny Liberty 1981 is more than pocket change. It is a reminder that treasure does not always shine loudly. Sometimes it hides quietly, waiting for the right eyes to see its value. Here on USA Coins 1, our mission is to educate, inspire, and help you uncover the true worth of American coins. If you enjoy learning about rare coins, hidden values, and current market trends, make sure to like this video, subscribe to USA Coins 1, and turn on notifications so you never miss an opportunity. Comment below if you have a 1981 Lincoln penny or if you have ever found a rare coin in your change. Your next penny could be your biggest discovery yet. Today's video is going to shock many collectors, confuse beginners, and excite serious coin hunters, because we are talking about one of the most misunderstood and secretly powerful modern coins in U.S. history. Today's coin is the Lincoln Penny Liberty 1988D, a coin that millions of Americans once ignored, spent, or dropped on the ground. But today certain examples of this coin are creating massive buzz in the current U.S. coin market. Many people still believe that modern pennies are worthless. Many people still think that only very old coins matter, but the 1988D Lincoln penny proves that history, rarity, condition, and minting secrets can turn a simple 1-cent coin into something worth serious money. And yes, some rare market listings, private sales, and collector rumors have pushed extreme valuation discussions as high as $898,952. Depending on condition, error type, and collector demand. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will never look at a penny the same way again. Let's go back in time. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln. By 1988, the design had already become one of the most recognizable coins in the world. On the front, we see Abraham Lincoln facing right, calm, strong, and timeless. Above his head is the word liberty, a symbol that connects this small coin to the very foundation of American freedom. The date 1988 appears clearly, and just below it is the mint mark D, telling us this coin was produced at the Denver Mint. On the reverse side, we still see the Lincoln Memorial, which was used on pennies from 1959 until 2008. Between the pillars of the memorial, if you look closely, you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln himself. This detail alone makes the design iconic and deeply respected among collectors. Now let's talk about why the 1988D Lincoln penny is special. In 1988, the United States Mint was producing billions of Pennies, the Denver Mint alone struck over 5 billion coins that year. Because of this massive production, people assumed these coins would never be valuable, but here is where the story changes. The late 1980s were a time of metal composition transitions, die fatigue, and high-speed minting, which created the perfect environment for rare mint errors. Some 1988 D pennies were struck with weak strikes, double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks that were never meant to leave. The mint, even more important, is condition. Most 1988 D pennies were heavily circulated. They were used in vending machines, grocery stores, gas stations, and daily transactions. Finding one today in perfect mint state condition, especially graded MS68 or higher, is extremely rare. This is where the serious money comes in. A normal circulated 1988 D penny may only be worth 1 cent, but a high-grade uncirculated example can already be worth several dollars. A professionally graded coin with strong luster, sharp details, and no visible damage can sell for hundreds. Now add a rare mint error, now add perfect eye appeal, now add extreme scarcity in top grades. That is when the market explodes. Collectors are not just buying metal, they are buying history, they are buying perfection. They are buying competition. Auction houses know this, private collectors know this, registry set builders know this. Some extraordinary error varieties and top population graded examples have been discussed in the market. With values reaching into the tens of thousands, and in speculative collector circles, ultra-rare combinations of error and condition have fueled rumors and listings approaching $898,952. Is every 1988 D penny worth that? Absolutely not. But does the potential exist for life-changing value in the right coin? Yes. And that is what makes this penny so exciting. The current U.S. coin market is driven by demand, condition, certification, and story. Modern coins with documented rarity are becoming more popular every year because collectors realize that future scarcity starts today. People who ignored the 1988 D penny 30 years ago are now searching bank rolls, coin jars, and old collections hoping to find that one perfect example. And here is the most important message of this video: you do not need to be rich to become a coin collector. You do not need gold to build value. Sometimes, all it takes is knowledge, patience, and one penny. So the next time you see a Lincoln penny with the date 1988 and the D mint mark, do not spend it too fast. Look closely, check the strike, check the condition, check for errors, because you might be holding a piece of American history that the world has not fully discovered yet. This is why we make videos like this on usacoins1.to, educate.to, inspire.to. Open your eyes to the hidden value in everyday coins. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Lincoln Penny Liberty 1988 D, make sure to like this video, subscribe to USA Coins 1, and turn on notifications so you never miss another hidden treasure from the world of US coins. Comment below if you have a 1988 D penny or if you want us to analyze another coin next. Until next time, keep collecting, keep learning, and remember, sometimes the smallest coin carries the biggest story. Today's video is not just about a penny. It is about a Lincoln penny that many people still have in jars, drawers, wallets, and old piggy banks, completely unaware that one special version of this coin has stunned the coin world and reached prices that most people would never imagine for a single cent. Today we are talking about the Lincoln Penny 1989 D. A coin that looks ordinary at first glance, but under the right conditions, with the right details, can be worth a life-changing amount of money. Some collectors and auction listings have placed values reaching as high as $0.898.951 for extremely rare examples, making this one of the most talked about modern Lincoln cents in recent years. The Lincoln penny has always been more than just a coin. It represents American history, freedom, and legacy. First introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, this penny became the longest-running design in United States coinage history. By 1989, the Lincoln Memorial design was already deeply familiar to Americans, yet behind that familiar look, minting changes, production pressure, and unnoticed errors created rare coins that collectors now aggressively hunt. The 1989 D Lincoln penny was struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the D Mint mark located below the year on the obverse side. Millions were produced, which is why most people assume it has no value beyond face value. But coin collecting is not about how many were made. It is about how many survived in perfect condition, and more importantly, How many were struck with rare and valuable minting errors? This was a time when the United States Mint was producing massive quantities of coins at high speed. That speed sometimes created mistakes that slipped past quality control. These mistakes are where the real money is found. Certain 1989 Lincoln pennies show rare doubling, off-metal strikes, weak strikes, misaligned dies, and unusual die varieties that dramatically increase value. Collectors pay extraordinary prices for coins that show strong double die features, especially in the words Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date itself. On rare examples, the doubling is clear, bold, and dramatic, making the coin stand out instantly under magnification. When authenticated and graded at the highest levels, these coins become elite collector items. Condition is everything. A regular worn 1989 penny is worth 1 cent. But a high-grade mint state example with no wear, full original luster, sharp details, and flawless surfaces can already be worth significantly more. Add a confirmed rare error, and the value can explode. This is how a simple copper-plated zinc coin can cross into thousands, tens of thousands, and in legendary cases, prices approaching $0.898951 when the perfect combination of rarity, condition, and demand comes together. One of the reasons the 1989 Lincoln penny is gaining attention today is the current market trend. Collectors are shifting focus toward modern coins with documented errors. Many classic rarities are already locked away in collections. Modern error coins are still being discovered by everyday people. That creates excitement, competition, and rising prices. Auction records show that rare Lincoln cents with dramatic errors consistently outperform expectations. When bidding wars begin between serious collectors, prices can skyrocket far beyond initial estimates. This is why experts always advise never to clean your coins, never to damage them, and always to have unusual pieces professionally authenticated. The Lincoln penny also carries emotional value. People connect with Abraham Lincoln as a symbol of unity, strength, and leadership. That emotional connection adds to collector demand. Coins are not just metal. They are stories, history, and identity pressed into copper and zinc. Another key factor driving the current market value is scarcity at the top grading levels. Very few 1989 pennies exist in flawless mint state with rare errors. Each year, collectors submit thousands of coins for grading, yet only a handful achieve the highest grades. That scarcity fuels demand and pushes prices upward. Right now, the coin market is experiencing renewed interest from younger collectors, investors, and treasure hunters. Social media, YouTube, and online auctions have made rare coins visible to the world. Stories of people finding valuable pennies in pocket change inspire millions to look more closely at their own coins. This visibility keeps prices strong and rising. If you have a 1989 Lincoln penny, do not ignore it. Examine it carefully under good lighting. Look for doubling in the lettering. Look for unusual thickness, off-center strikes, or missing details. Even small differences can mean big money. If something looks different, it may be worth professional evaluation. The idea that a penny can be worth nearly $1 million may sound unbelievable, but coin history is filled with surprises. What separates ordinary coins from extraordinary ones is knowledge, patience, and careful observation. The Lincoln penny 1989 reminds us that value is often hidden in plain sight. While most people overlook pennies, collectors see opportunity. While some see loose change, others see history and wealth. As the market continues to evolve, coins like the 1989 Lincoln penny remain at the center of attention. Whether you are a seasoned collector or someone just beginning, this coin represents hope, discovery, and the thrill of the hunt. This is why we bring you these stories on USA Coins One. Because the next valuable coin could already be in your hands, waiting for you to recognize its true worth. If you enjoy learning about rare coins, hidden values, and shocking market prices, make sure to like this video, subscribe to USA Coins One, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story that could change the way you see money forever.